survived to 88. But about last August, I was 15 years younger. This old age has suddenly come on to this lymphoma problem, for which I've been on chemo, and I haven't been shaving lately, and my hair hasn't been growing, but that's a good thing. Anyway, one or two things I was going to say, if you can hear me. Well, of course, last September I moved into this castle village for the nearly dead. It's a purpose-built development on the top of the opposite side of Berkhamsted. So we're 250 feet above sea level, and from about 40 yards away, this place has a field, and you can sit on benches and look over in this direction to see the children's on. You don't see Berkhamsted. Berkhamsted is about 1.25 miles down in the valley. It comprises, I don't know how many acres, but it's the grounds of a late Victorian mansion, and they built about 25 years ago. They built about 120 flats, bungalows, and little what they call cottages. It's one of a chain of about 5 firms that specialise in providing accommodation for those over 55.
So you can put my name down.
I'm looking forward to a bit of summer and being able to sit out. They've got a putting green and croquet lawn. There's tennis in the court as well, although I think I'm past it. And it's a Japanese sunken garden. And then in the main house there's offices, library, snooker room, and a little place where meetings can happen, where 3 times a week they serve a meal. So that's Castle Village. Now it's 8 years, yes, it's eight and a bit years since I wrote and produced my memoirs, of which I think some of you have a copy, Over the Hill. And I've since been thinking that 1 or 2 things have been happening, and perhaps I ought to add a chapter or 2. Jane and I enjoyed a lovely holiday in Cyprus, a marvellous hotel, but after a week EasyJet stopped flying, and we came back in a hurry, and Emma did a marvellous job getting us tickets on BA. This was COVID, wasn't it?
Yes, just when the pandemic was, the lockdown was about
to starting. Then it's nearly 2 years ago we lost Jane. I always assumed that I'd go first, and I'd been in my study a couple of hours in the afternoon, and she was gardening. And I came to go downstairs. As I walked past the bathroom, there she was on the lino, stark naked, obviously going to go and have a shower, and she'd had a stroke, big stroke. Philip next door, but one is a retired GP who came round straight away. The ambulance came within 10 minutes, and then she had 14 weeks in hospital, where she was awake about 10-15% of the time, and she knew we were there. She couldn't speak. When I took a CD player to play some of her choir music, we could see her lips moving with the words of the thing. We both got living wills because, you know, we don't want to end up as vegetables that ought to be put down. So it did take quite a time to persuade the medics to respect that living will. So they put her onto palliative care, and she died about 2 weeks later. Looking back, though, there were early signs of dementia, and you know, we didn't really notice at the time, but definitely there were signs that that could have been developing. So that was a great relief, of course. And now she's living upstairs or wherever. So life has changed. When you get old, sometimes I've been doing a lot of lying in bed and sort of thinking, and one thinks back to one's childhood. And I don't know why, but the other night I was thinking about the boys' urinal that came from school, which was, well, not quite as long as this room, but a great trough down one side. And there were duckboards piled up this side, and it was great fun to stand on the duckboards and see if you could reach over. And if any boys were there peeing, they just got a bit wet. Which reminded me of my dad telling me about his school. This was 100 years ago when he was, I suppose, he was 17, 18 at Bancroft's at Woodford. It was a boarder. There